Okay, it looks like we've got everybody on. That's we're expecting maybe. I don't know if a couple others are joining or not. So we will go ahead and call our special board meeting to order. It is July 27th, 2026. And I'm sorry, Miss Downing, were you ready? I didn't even ask.
Yes, I'm good to go.
Okay, thank you. We'll call our meeting to order. It's 11:08, 10:08 a.m. I'm sorry, on July 27th, 2026. We'll call our special board meeting to order. Welcome. Good to see you all. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Board colleagues, Dr. Stubblefield, any of our guests and staff present. Good to see you. Thanks for joining today. So as we do at every board meeting, we'll read our board norms and protocols. We agree to respect differences of opinions in making decisions for the district, to follow best practices in managing the superintendent and the management of the board itself, to stay on task when conducting business for the district, including while at board meetings, to never surprise the superintendent or each other when conducting official business of the district, to read these norms at the beginning of each board meeting and at board workshops as a reminder of how to conduct our meetings, and to continually self-check to determine if we're following our norms when conducting district business. Again, welcome. Good to see you all. With that, Ms. Downing, can I have a roll call?
Wanda Brownlee Page.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
I have a point of order, please.
Can we do the roll call first?
No.
Okay. What is your point of order, Mr. Goheen? I think you're trying to speak. You're muted there.
We got to make sure there's a quorum.
Yep. So we'll need a roll call.
Okay.
Wanda Brownlee Page.
Wanda Brownlee Page, present.
Yolanda Clark. Randy Lopez.
Randy Lopez, present.
Robert Milan Jr. Pamela Penn Hicks.
Pamela Penn Hicks, present.
Joycelyn Strickland Egan's.
Joycelyn Strickland Egan's, present.
And Dr. Nguyen.
Dr. Nguyen, present.
Okay. Mr. Goheen, is this where she can do a point of order, I guess, or do we need to approve the agenda first?
No, she can do a point of order.
Okay, Dr. Nguyen.
Thank you. Mr. Lopez, let me first say that, one, can you hear me clearly?
I can.
Okay, thank you. What your health foundation and the Village Initiative do are very worthy projects for our community. However, because of the $50,000 grant, previously $25,000 grant to Village Initiative from your organization, of which you are president and CEO, establishes a conflict of interest. You did not, neither of you all disclosed, recused, or abstained in the election of office. Therefore, my point of order is that you are not able to preside at this meeting.
Dr. Nguyen, this is a little surprising that you would bring this up. It's the first time really hearing about this.
That's
from
maybe
you.
the first time you're hearing it. I did visit, we visited with Dr. Stubblefield via message to explain and alert the fact that the conflict of interest is substantial and that violation clearly was.
Can I ask, what is the conflict of interest that you're stating is present? Because I don't believe
Between you and Mrs. Clark, $50,000 and previous grants that your Wyandotte Health Foundation has granted, as I said, very worthy projects, very worthy, important to our community. But the substantial conflict of interest, the financial relationship you all have should have been disclosed. You should have recused, both of you should have recused, and both of you should have abstained from the election of officers. You did not.
Dr. Nguyen, the foundation's grant is to the Village Initiative.
Excuse me, let me finish.
Yolanda's.
our conflict of interest, our policy that we have been talking about for the last 6 weeks at least, and that our board handbook also says that if a member has reason to believe or expect a direct monetary gain or suffer a direct monetary loss or gain benefit for family or another personal or professional interest, the member should remove herself from any engagement in discussion or decision making. We have been talking about conflict of interest. We've been talking about it. It's very clear. All you all had to do was disclose, recuse, abstain. You did neither. Dr. Stubblefield knows we came in on Thursday with the same concern. If she did not disclose it to you, that is what perhaps happened. But you know, during the time, that is what should have occurred.
So I'm curious why you didn't come and ask or speak with me directly, Dr. Wayne, instead of surprising me with this on a board meeting call that's supposed to be to approve an HR agenda. One question.
Exactly.
Second, and I don't believe that there's a conflict of interest. My understanding of conflict of interest, the way that it's written out, is if this were to have gone to, if the foundation, and please don't say it's my foundation, I do not own the foundation, I am an employee of the foundation. There is a 15-member board who I report to at the foundation. So it is not my foundation. I just want to make sure that's clear for everyone, that I am an employee of the foundation. And then second, I would just say that the grant to the Village Initiative was exactly that, a grant to the Village Initiative that is a 501c3 in good standing. And while Ms. Clark may have family who are either employed with the village, she herself is not a trustee, is not an officer, is not an employee, is not does not have any financial gain from the grant. So I don't understand how you're saying there's a conflict of interest there. The way the statute is or the way it's defined. And I would ask Mr. Goheen if he could weigh in here, because I don't believe that there is a conflict of interest benefiting Ms. Clark or anyone on the board for that matter. And I'm just a little disappointed that you would bring this up publicly now instead of coming and talking to me directly about this. Dr. Stubblefield or Mr. Goheen, I would ask if you have, if you'd be able to weigh in here on the definition of conflict of interest and whether this actually constitutes a conflict or not.
If I'm understanding correctly, you're suggesting there's a conflict of interest in terms of voting for the officers. Is that what the suggestion is?
That is the suggestion, Mr. Goheen. And because you are familiar with conflict of interest, I believe you also teach classes on conflict of interest in your professional position. Is that correct?
I don't know if I teach classes on it. I certainly have given seminar presentations.
Seminars.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem you've got here is I don't think that you have a conflict of interest that's going to foreclose a vote on an officer election based upon what I'm understanding, at least at this point. The only conflict of interest statute, it's not even a conflict of interest statute, it's an ethics statute that exists out there that talks about voting. And well, you got two statutes, I guess that is. One, you've got the statute that says that, and that's just the general powers of the Board of Education, that says any member announces a conflict of interest with regard to an issue, the member may leave the meeting until the voting on the issue is concluded, and the member who abstains from voting thereby shall not be counted as having voted. And we've talked about that statute. My general understanding of that is that the member has to decide and declare the conflict him or herself. It's not necessarily something that somebody else could vote or decide that there's a conflict of interest for, other than through a judicial proceeding that would be initiated either by AG or the district attorney or somebody along those lines.
That is correct.
The statute.
It does not, excuse me, Mr. Goheen, it does, excuse me, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
you're fine. And certainly if you've got questions or comments, I'll happily entertain them as we're going, if that's easier for everybody here. But if I'm understanding, and I think some of this is coming from, the only thing I've seen on this really is the one of the documents that Ms. Lynch submitted to the school district, and I was provided a copy of. She makes reference to some of the statutes that relate to governmental ethics, which started 754301A, and then I think they continue on through 754306, maybe a little bit longer than that, I'm not sure. And those statutes relate primarily to the disclosure requirements of substantial interest with the state, either at the time somebody is appointed, the time somebody is elected, or that if there's substantial changes between the election disclosures or not, which is all part of like the campaign finance issue. But that speaks to talking about voting where there's a substantial interest for the individual or the individual spouse only. That also speaks only to disclosure of the interest. It does not foreclose or prevent a vote by the individual who has the interest. Again, that has to be decided by the individual. And then finally, you have the vote is on contracts relating to the situation, which I don't think would include voting on things such as officer elections that occur at a board meeting or things of that nature. So, you know, the issue here is there would have to be a substantial financial interest that would benefit the individual involved, and the statute carves out 501c3s in it as well. You still have to disclose a 501c3 conflict, but it does not constitute a substantial interest under the statute for the conflict of interest provisions. So I don't think there's a conflict of interest here. I'm happy to take a deeper dive into it with the specific information that we have, or to seek an opinion from the Ethics Commission, which it's not really called the Ethics Commission. I forget what it's called, but we could seek a
Public disclosure.
Yeah, we could seek an opinion there.
Mr.
But
Goheen,
yes,
it's called public disclosure.
Public Disclosure Commission, yes. So, but I don't see this as being a conflict of interest in terms of the vote. Otherwise, you'd have a situation where you'd have individuals who are elected officials by the members of the public whose votes on certain items that are not directly related to things such as contracts where they might receive a financial benefit directly, those votes would be lost, and those members of the public that voted for those individuals would have a lack of representation on those issues. So I think that there's not a conflict here.
Thank you, Mr. Goheen.
Dr. Stubblefield, you wanted to say something before I reply?
Oh, I was just going to say, I did share just generally that there was a request, the request that was made, and what my response was, but I did not, I mean, I didn't know, like, I didn't share, and it's going to be brought up Monday because I didn't know where it landed. So I just wanted to be clear about, I made, Mr. Lopez, he was, my interpretation is he wasn't aware that it was going to come up today. I shared that there was a request, and that my recommendation was to discuss it Monday, August 3rd, when there was an in-person meeting, and because I have no true authority over the situation, I just said that was my recommendation and left it at that.
And to your response, I wrote back that no, I want to bring it up today. So if you did not get that response.
I did get that response. I just left it where it was because I honestly just don't want, at that point, everybody was aware of the different perspectives. and what you all decide to do collectively as a board, I don't want to be placed in the middle of going back and forth. So everybody was aware of where it landed. And then if it were brought up today, it is brought up today, but I wasn't certain if it would be, because I didn't know like collectively where you all were. So I just wanted to be clear. I did convey the message. But I, you know.
And I want to make it clear that I
Yeah.
made my position very clear to you that no, I was bringing it up to date. Now I can read that response very easily for the record so that you will not, I said, my response is no, we must address this on Monday. Secondly, there's some other conversation, and that so on Monday I will abide by the law and address the board president. So my position was very clear to you. So
Right. And Dr. Nguyen, all I'm saying is your position was clear to me, but as the superintendent who reports to all 7 of you, I just left it there because you all can communicate with one another, and you also so I just removed myself because I did not want to go and then say to Mr. Lopez, well, she's going to bring it up Monday, because at that point I was just like, if at any point somebody can bring something up, and you all, however your communication channels around these sorts of topics are, is just that. And I also tried to reach out to Ms. Page, but we were not able to connect. And so I just left it at that, knowing that we will be here Monday. So I just wanted to clarify where I left it at, knowing that we would be here today.
Yeah, for
So
clarity,
I'm just trying to just make it clear that as a board, that is that those are you all, like how you all choose to handle this and move forward. I am a neutral party in this, and I just want to remain that, especially around this topic.
Yeah, and
and
I
that's
just
correct. And I
want
did
to
not
clarify.
expect.
Sorry.
Excuse
I
me,
was
Mr.
just-
Lopez.
I was just clarifying
Right.
that Dr. Stubblefield did share, but no one, I was saying, Dr. Nguyen, you or no other board member had brought this up to me. So I was unaware that this was actually going to come up today. And I, as a special meeting with the set agenda already, and not all board members here, I was a little disappointed that no board member actually advised me or told me, again, going back to our norms, of not surprising one another. No one spoke to me or mentioned to me that you were going to bring this up today. So that's what I was saying. And Dr.
And
that's
well
me
taken.
that there was a question on this, but again, no one else had brought this forward to me. And that's what I was saying, Dr. Nguyen, is I'm a little disappointed that you or whoever thinks this is a conflict didn't approach me prior to this morning to bring this forward. And here we are, supposed to have a quick HR approval today. And
Mr. Lopez, this is Ms. Page. Now, you said you were surprised. I was surprised in the meeting when Ms. Clark got up 3 times and left. And I remember when you did the same thing. And we keep saying, hey, come on. People in the community are saying, what's going on? And all they had, you and her had to say, which never was said, people just get up and leave. And we need to be clear, because Mr. Goheen is saying that that's not it. We're reading state things. There should be a disclosure. Nobody's saying you're doing anything wrong, but to be transparent for the community. So I've been surprised twice. And in my mind, I keep saying, what is going on? Why is it so difficult to say? My organization received this or that. I'm going to recuse myself and move out and then come back after any vote is taken.
So I
So
can't.
it's been a lot of surprising around here because we are not clear on this issue, and it is vital. And we keep saying we're transparent. We want people to trust us. It's too much going on. And again, I say I don't have a problem with the organization. They do help our community, but we all need to know. So we've been surprised. You're surprised. We're surprised. What a surprise.
So I can't speak for Ms. Clark, and unfortunately, she's not here to discuss why she got up and left. And I don't know that she necessarily has to disclose. When she did get up for the first time, she did disclose that she could not vote because there was a conflict.
She didn't say it to the whole body.
She shared it
That's
with the clerk.
the issue.
She shared it with the clerk, and then the clerk shared it with me. Miss Downing shared it with me, and I, in that moment, said we needed to find a second person, a second board member, to make a second on the motion because Yolanda, Miss Clark, had made the second in that moment for items F through V or whatever it was. And then we had to find a second person, and I said she has a conflict. I said that out loud.
No, that was never said. Or maybe we all need to go back and play that tape. Because I kept saying, is she sick? I know I asked Miss Downing. And I'm not trying to throw her in there because I didn't understand what was going on. People, it was not verbalized where everybody could hear it. That never came out. So again, we're surprised. See somebody get up and leave 3 times. You did it, she did it. We got to get clear on this. And this is urgent.
Mr. Goheen, I don't believe you are correct in saying that if there's a perceived conflict of interest, that the person does not have to. And again, you can clarify what you're saying, but the conflict of interest, you know, I have been on this board a long time, and I have had this concern numerous times. We have off camera, off mic talked about it. You don't have to comment on that. But our own policy, we have been clarifying that the board member shall declare a conflict of interest. Now, for you to, I'm talking about disappointment. I'm disappointed that you involved, which is okay. You know, we're not talking about a financial contract. We're talking about a financial relationship. We're not talking about filing substantial statements of substantial interest. So we all know the law. You know it professionally, long time. Again, you give seminars on this. So there's nuances that you know that we don't. However, when you have a school board, when you have members who have relationships, financial relationships, when you have family members involved, and our own board handbook, perhaps not board policy, however, then we know state law comes into effect if there is an absence in board policy, but taken together, a perceived conflict of interest holds some weight. Now, whether or not you declare it does not. And yes, we received complaint from Mrs. Lynch, but you know I've been talking about conflict of interest a long time. And I think Mr. Lopez, you know as well, we've had conversations, maybe not on this, because this is a newer idea, or as you said, ideation, whatever that's supposed to mean. But nevertheless, conflict of interest is perceived as a conflict of interest. You all did not disclose in respect to the community, in respect to the board. You should have, in my opinion, but that's all I have to say. So thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. My understanding, it is not a conflict of interest. There is no substantial conflict of interest here.
But this is the problem, that there is not clarity on that. I know what Mr. Goheen said, but that's messy. We keep telling the community that we want to be transparent, and we need to be transparent. You said she came to you. We didn't know. And we keep saying, no surprise. Well, that was a surprise. And I'm going to keep saying that because it needs to be clear. It is not clear. And I don't think we should just leave it on that note. It needs to be clear. We need to have a meeting on it. We need to go to KSAB or whoever to make sure we know. And if we don't have a policy, then we need to establish one because it's too much drama.
I
So-
agree, it is too much drama.
So I'm not sure. So my recommendation, what I suggested, given the sense of urgency that was expressed by a few board members, my suggestion was to add it to the August 3rd meeting for discussion if you did not want to wait to your next regular scheduled meeting, or if you were going to try to schedule a separate meeting to discuss it. And in either you all can reach directly out to KSB. I don't have an issue with sharing with them to see if they can also provide perspective. Greg has said that. I think for today, if I need to do anything or if I just need to remain neutral, I'm happy with doing that. I think we just need to know direction and what you all's next steps are. And then regarding this, and then if we can approve the HR report, that will be just helpful for us to know like next steps. And if I need to do something, I have no problem doing it in regards to reaching out, given the information or concerns to KSB, or Ms. Page, if you plan to reach out to them, I can do whatever I'm directed to do regarding this.
Suggest that Mr. Goheen, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to KESB and getting an opinion based on what's been expressed today from the multiple sides and views on this. See if you can get a little bit of clarity from KESB and share what you shared with the board today. And then I would agree, August 3rd is fine with me if we want to add that to the budget conversation. That will at least allow for all board members to be present. As far as I understand, all board members will be at that meeting. So that would be my suggestion, is to have this conversation, if we want to continue this conversation, on August 3rd, and have that gives Mr. Goheen some time to go to KESB or some other entity that he might think could be helpful for clarity on this, and bring that information back to the full board. Hearing no objections to that, Mr.
I
Goheen.
will also go to public disclosure commission and ask for an opinion.
I'm sorry, what was that, Dr. Wynn? I didn't hear you.
Said I
Yeah,
will also
I had that written down, Dr. Wynn, as an option, so I'll do that as well.
What did he say?
I said I will do that as well. I had that written down as an option.
Thank you.
Do you want to put that into a formal motion?
We can't take action on it today because it's not part of the notice for the special meeting. But I think we've got directives, so I don't think we need to. I mean, we'll move forward and do it. I just don't think you can do a motion on it.
You can do a motion if it's unanimous, can't you?
There's not, the full board's not here.
It says
Yep.
full board, does not say unanimous of those in attendance.
No, you have to have waiver you'd have to have waiver of the notice of the meeting to add a topic, and it'd have to be the waiver by all the board members, not just the ones present.
Then I sure hope we don't do this in the future when there's not all board members present. Thank you.
Yep. I mean, you'd have to have written consent by the other board members or something to show the way the meeting was.
All the time. Yes, sir.
I think I've been very consistent on this special meeting issue. I hear the voices in the background saying that this is inconsistent. It's not.
Yes, it was my voice saying we have wavered a lot of rules. We have also, when it was to the liking of certain folks, added items on the agenda at a special meeting because it's unanimous of those there. But
I don't think that's true, Dr. Nguyen. I think that it's only been if we had everybody present. And
okay,
I think it's only been if we've had a waiver across the board. Now you could add a topic to not a topic, you could add like an executive session if you wanted to an HR meeting like this one was noticed for, because that wouldn't change the topic that was noticed up. But if you're adding an additional topic, which this is, you would have to at least have 3 board members ask for the topic, and you would have to have a notice of 48 hours or waiver by all of the board members, not just those present, because otherwise board members could miss a meeting that they didn't have a topic that they was noticed in advance that they didn't know about.
and that is correct. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for that clarification, because we do need to know the rules. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, thank you, Mr. Goheen. So we'll follow up with those entities and bring information back. With that, we've done the roll call. Is there a motion to approve today's special agenda?
Or someone?
No,
Huh?
it was on me.
Could the clerk repeat what you all just decided, the role that either Dr. Stubblefield or will not do, and the action that Mr. Goheen will or will not do before the August 3rd meeting? And what will occur at the August 3rd meeting?
I don't know if there was a definitive direction. I mean, I was definitive direction. What I understand that I'm doing is getting an opinion from KASB and an opinion from the.
Could you speak up, please?
Yeah, I said what I understood I was doing. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. What I understood I was doing was getting an opinion from KASB and an opinion from the whatever the governing government ethics commission was. I'm calling it the wrong thing. On whether a conflict of interest exists in this situation, and that's what I understand I was doing.
And because Mr. Goheen was doing it, I took that as there's nothing for me to do directly.
Yeah, and that'll be added to August 3rd board meeting.
Thank you. Is that reflected in the minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I guess it can be, but it can't be reflected as a directive or as a motion by the board. I mean, again, you've got a special meeting notice here that's on a specific topic. I mean, I know we've had a discussion of this under the context of a point of order, and I think we're committing to do certain things that the board's asking us to do. I guess you could put that down as an informational item in the minutes, but it's technically outside the scope of the special meeting.
Thank you. At least we'll know how it is recorded. Thank you.
I'll ask again,
Thank you.
is there a motion to approve today's special agenda?
I move that we accept the agenda for today. This is Joycelyn.
Thank you, Ms. Strickland-Egan's. Is there a second to approve today's special agenda? Would anyone like to second the motion to approve the special agenda today?
I don't know what will happen with this agenda, but I do just want to note all of the individuals on the HR report. We bring back new teachers this Thursday and all staff this Monday. And this was really, the purpose of it was to support our buildings so that they can onboard all of their staff without causing any additional delays, because unless an HR, if the HR report is on August 3rd, that meeting's not until 5 o'clock. So unless we made some exception, all of those individuals on there, I guess couldn't start with their colleagues.
It's okay, Dr. Stubblefield. I will second Ms. Strickland-Egan's motion to approve today's special agenda. Thank you. Any questions or comments on the agenda? Hearing none, is there, Ms. Downing, roll call, please.
Wanda Brownlee Page,
Wanda Brownlee Page, yes.
Randy Lopez,
Randy Lopez, yes.
Pamela Penn Hicks,
Pamela Penn Hicks, yes.
Joycelyn Strickland Egan's,
Joycelyn Strickland-Egan's, yes.
and Dr. Nguyen.
Dr. Nguyen, yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. All right, we'll jump to item 2, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented today?
I move that we accept the consent agenda for today.
Thank you, Ms. Strickland-Egan's. Is there a second? I'll be happy to second so that we can get these folks on the HR report approved today, hopefully, so that they can start working. I will second. Any questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Downing.
Wanda Brownlee Page,
Wanda Brownlee Page, yes.
Randy Lopez,
Randy Lopez, absolutely yes. Welcome aboard.
Pamela Penn Hicks,
Pamela Penn Hicks, yes.
Joycelyn Strickland Egan's,
Joycelyn Strickland-Egan's, yes.
and Dr. Nguyen.
Hey, babe.
Dr. Nguyen, yes.
Thank you, board. Motion carries. All right, that is the end of our agenda items today. With that, don't forget, we do have a special meeting on Wednesday as well. That should be on your calendar. Welcome to all our newly hired staff. And then we will get information for Monday, August 3rd agenda. That is an in-person meeting at central office. I forget the time. I think it's 3 p.m. start. At central office in person. So we will see you all there with some additional information. With that, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day.
Have a good day.